Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen. On this channel, I like to do things a little bit differently. I like to talk about alternative options for parents. My goal is just to show parents that there are other options out there, that there are other ways to do things. And so today's video is going to be 10 things that you don't have to do with your baby. The idea kind of behind it is not that any of these things are good or bad or anything like that, but just that I thought this was a list of things that maybe are more commonly done that people don't even really question or think about. They just do them because that's what everyone else does. And so really what I want this video to be is like just a place to start where you think, oh, I never even thought about that. I never even thought that I could not do that, or that it was an option to do it a different way or whatever. So just like a starting point kind of, and then just to spark your interest and have you go out and then do, your own research on it and decide, what feels best for you and your family. But anyways, let's get into it. That was just kind of my idea behind it and why I thought to make this video. So 10 things you don't have to do with your baby. Number 1 is swaddle, which you probably know all about. You might be sick of hearing me talk about it if you watched my sleep without sleep training video, which I'll also get into. But this wasn't something I really thought about before having my own son, but I just thought, people just swaddle your babies. Like that's like what they do right away at the hospital. Like I think it's very common to just think you just swaddle babies, but really you don't have to. We never swaddled our son. A lot of babies, parents are trying to like make their babies like to be swaddled when they don't even like it. And so really, if it's not working for you and your baby, you don't have to do it. Now there's a lot of kind of stuff that's a little bit more controversial about swaddling and just the effects of it, which I don't want to get too much into, but there are, if you can look up stuff about like swaddling and like the startle reflex and stuff like that. So I don't want to again go in and say one thing is right or another way is right. I really just want to kind of bring these topics to your mind and then you can look into it. So that's why I don't want to go into too much why we didn't, but yeah. Number 1, swaddle. Next thing is baby containers. So this is stuff like baby swings, rockers, the play gyms that you stand them in, stuff like that. I think it's very common. Again, people just put like these things on their baby registry, or that's like one of the first things they get are like the baby swings or the bouncers. And while they can be very helpful at times, it's not completely necessary. We never had any baby containers. So just throwing that out there, look into it, look into what baby containers can do and just stuff like that. So baby containers. Next one, which again, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably are going to already know this one. And this is sleep train. I think a lot of people, including me, you have a baby and you're like, okay, once they're like a certain age, like I'm going to sleep train them. And then like finally we'll get some sleep. But you do not have to sleep train your baby. There's other options out there. Again, I did my sleep without sleep training video. And so, again, nothing wrong with any of these things I'm saying. If you choose to sleep train, just a topic to bring up to say, there's other options out there. You don't have to sleep train your baby. Okay, next thing on my list is you do not have to wait until like 2 or 3 years old to potty train, which again, if you saw my last video, which is that we started elimination communication, you kind of know what I'm saying. But basically, I think that's really like a common thing to do is you wait until your baby's older, 2 or 3 to start potty training, but really you can start with like potty association, potty learning, elimination communication, like right away, right from birth, or 1 or 6 months or whenever you choose. But just kind of an alternative way to do the potty thing is you don't have to wait that long to potty train if you don't want to. So if you didn't know about that, something else to look into. Another thing is you do not have to get a crib right away for your baby. So whether that be that you want to do a floor bed right away for your baby, which I know seems a little, taboo in our society, but really around the world, it's very common and normal to do floor beds, to do just a family bed, just one big bed for the whole family. But also just, even if you don't choose to do that, if you choose to do a bassinet or something, like really, I think we're in such a rush and we're so excited to get the crib, but really you do not need to get the crib right away. Like, unless they're going to be in the crib from day one, you have some time. So whatever, you choose to do, whether you're not going to do a crib at all or you are eventually, you don't really need the crib right away. So next thing I have is to get a baby bath. So this is kind of another products thing. A lot of people think that you need a baby bath for your little baby. We never used a baby bath. Again, baby baths aren't bad. But if you're trying to be more simple, have less things, whatever, you have a small bathroom, you don't want this big baby bath. We never had a baby bath. When he was really little, we just put towels in the sink and laid him on the towels in the kitchen sink. And then as he got older, we just simply laid a towel on the bottom of the tub and he just laid on that. And we just didn't really fill it up that much. And then as he was able to sit up, you could just sit up, just stand up, So baby baths, not necessary. You don't have to get a baby bath. You can. Next thing kind of goes along with that is bathing your baby often. Another thing was I just feel like it's so normal to think like you're going to bathe your baby all the time. But babies really don't need baths that often, and really their skin is just so sensitive that it's not really necessary, and it can honestly probably do a little bit more harm than good if you're washing them with body wash every day, every other day, whatever. I'd say in his first year of life, he probably had a handful of 5 baths. I don't know. Really, we really barely ever did baths. And a lot of times if we did do bath, it was just water. As he started to eat solids, we would kind of bring him over to the sink and wash him off in the sink. But again, no soap. So just something to look into. Think about, your baby's skin, their microbiome, and what soap can do to that if you do it too often. So there we go. The next thing on my list that you don't have to do with your baby is to breastfeed them. Like I said, everything on this list isn't good or bad. I obviously love breastfeeding my son. We're still breastfeeding at 15 months old. I just want to put it out there that if you're feeling stressed about breastfeeding, if you're I really don't want to, but I feel like I have to at least try, no, you don't. You really can choose to do whatever you want for you and your baby, whatever feels fine. You're the parent, as long as you're as long as you're feeding them, as long as you're keeping them safe, you can do whatever you want. So again, simply just to put it out there that you have so many options and you get to do what feels right to you and not what you think people, society, your parents, your sister, your brother is telling you to do. You can do whatever you want. Your doctor, you can do whatever you want. So just putting it out there. You don't even have to try breastfeeding if you feel that strongly that you don't want to. Don't do it then. Just saying. Okay. Next thing on the list is have an early bedtime. People, it's you hear this magic 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is when they sleep. Get them down between 6 and 7. In a lot of other cultures, bedtime's 10, 11, 12 at night. And a lot of babies actually do a lot better with that kind of a bedtime. Another benefit to that is that they sleep in a little bit longer. Then maybe they sleep until 7, maybe they sleep until 8, maybe they sleep until 9. Doesn't that sound nice? Like, I think that it's just in our culture, again, to need to have them on this certain schedule. But in a lot of families, later bedtimes work better for everybody. And so if your baby's having a hard time with an earlier bedtime, maybe they just need a later bedtime. And so, I don't know, just throwing that out there, that that's like a common thing, is that babies need an early bedtime, but you do not have to, again, whatever works for your family. If an early bedtime works for your family, then good. If a later don't feel like you have to put them to sleep at a certain time, because that's what people are saying. Like, you can put your baby to sleep whenever you want to, whenever works for you. So we're doing 10 things. So this is the last thing on my list. And that is, you don't have to give your baby purees or like the baby oatmeal as their first food. I've mentioned this in a few of my other videos already, but just something to look into. Purees versus like baby-led weaning, versus like even like vegetables and fruit do not have to be their first food, even if you choose baby-led weaning. Babies need a lot of iron. That's why you're starting to give them solids. So we did like liver, egg yolks, stuff like that, like animal products that were actually higher in iron and had it more bioavailable for them. So again, just something to look into. I just want to throw it out there because I know I'm in a community online where I like hear all this stuff, but maybe a lot of first-time parents don't know. They don't even know to look into that. You know, you just think that's just what you do, is you feed baby food. But I just want to put it out there that there's other ways to do it. So if you have any questions or comments or anything about any of the stuff that I listed, you want to know more about something, please feel free to leave a comment. I will answer all of them. And I'm really just here to, I just want to help other parents. You know, we're just all figuring it out. And I don't know, I just don't want anyone to feel like they're doing something that they're not happy with, or that is like not their preferred way of doing things. Like, there's always other options. And so I hope that this list helped anyone. And thank you for watching again, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I like to make videos about this sort of thing and just talking about alternative ways to do things. So thank you. Please subscribe. Please like this video if it helped at all, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.